And then about every situation in red zone, tight red zone, coming out, 2-minute drill, everything situationally in the kicking game we did as well. So I feel like we're in a good spot as where our team is as far as football IQ, the things that we need to get work on. We've certainly hit that. Adjusted the practice schedule a little bit today to hit some of the other things that I thought we needed more reps on after that first scrimmage. This is a really heavy week for us because consecutive days. We'll go tomorrow again, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday will be a lighter day, and then we'll scrimmage Saturday night again. And I think we're starting to see the forming of a one offense and maybe a one defense on the other side as well. There's still a lot of battles going on, and specifically at the quarterback position, we're not ready yet to make a decision. I thought all three that are in the battle did some good things on Saturday, and also we've got work to do in that area as every position. But I know that's one that draws probably the most attention. I thought on the line of scrimmage on both sides, I thought there were times that we were able to run the ball well, and then I thought other times defensively controlled the run game because of our line of scrimmage play, and that's so important to us. We did some good things in the kicking game with our extra point and field goal kickers. That was good to see. And overall, we got a lot of really good work in, and then everybody that scrimmaged on Saturday was able to practice today. So the health and status of our team, we're in a pretty good spot right now. So it's a really important week. Towards the end of the week, we'll get into some preparation of our first opponent. And other than that, we're as good as we can get. Ones on one-on-ones, twos on twos, threes on threes. And then, we're close to having the full 4-on-4 group, which that means everybody, again, in the program is getting reps, and how important that is for a 15-week season on the depth and how you need to develop that. So our assistant coaches have done a great job on teaching the install, on putting players and mixing and matching to try to find the best 11. And I think our guys understand that it doesn't matter right now if you're first team or fifth team, whatever it is, you're going to get coached the same, and the expectation and the standard is the same. And that's fun for me to see as the head coach. Yeah, there is. And, we've got to decide, do we have somebody to win the battle in the kickoff department? And then what does that look like? Is he also the extra point field goal guy? We may have a kickoff guy and then a field goal guy. But we'll get that narrowed down this week. I feel like we're moving in the right direction in what we're doing there. So the great thing is we've got some talent there. And now the talent, can that transfer over to the mental side of what that looks like in a crunch situation with our entire organization counting on it. We're trying to get as closely as we can to staging that in practice creatively. But we do have talent, and those guys have made a lot of progress through 9 practices.
How many times you rolled a true freshman out there in a game 1 situation?
As a kicker?
Yeah.
I could go back and look. As a head coach, I think Tucker McCann did it for us, I think in 2017, if I remember right, and he was talented. I don't know past that. I'd have to look. But, you've got kind of the philosophy of, I've talked about it a little bit, even in that position, it's our job to take the age off of them once we get them. And, I love the experience factor that we can have at a lot of spots, but it's our job to get them ready to go play and compete. And whether they're a fifth-year senior or first-year freshman, we got to get them ready to go. And that's how important the kicker was for us last year. And Jose was stoic in the way he approached it, and the big-time kicks he had. So that's a big part of what we feel like is our X factor in special teams. We've got to have a guy that we can count on when we get in that situation.
Family here, is that normal? Do they come to a lot?
As many times as they can. Yeah, you get a lot of critiquing on practice. Play of the quarterback, we hear about it. So always enjoyable when they got a chance to come by.
You mentioned there were some things that all three guys had to work on. Like at this point in training camp, like what kind of, I don't want to say mistakes, but what are you still seeing that still has to be cleaned up, or what is it going to take for one of those?
Yeah, I think that obviously that position, the stat line sometimes can be misleading. If there's a tip ball that results in an interception, was that the quarterback, or did we have a breakdown in the depth of the route, the protection up front, or was it a true quarterback mistake? So I think, it would be wise for us as we have 8 really solid practices and then the scrimmage, making sure that the opportunities that they have, they're with the same amount of quality guys at receiver and offensive line to see effectively how they run the offense. There's times I think I could be a pretty good quarterback throwing to Ricky and Jacob. So if a guy's never getting that opportunity, then that's our fault as a coaching staff. So I think the quality of what that looks like, number one, I said it early on when I was asked about it, we need a quarterback to lead us. They've got to protect the football, efficiently move the offense down the field, and ultimately score points and win games. They're a lot like the head coach. It really doesn't matter on being based on effort. We're based on results. So the quarterback will always have a win-loss record. Doesn't matter how close we get. They've got to be stoic in the way they approach it. And I think we're on the right track in getting that settled. I want to see a cleaner efficiency from all three on taking care of the football, on getting us in or out of the right play call with the look we're getting on the other side, and then the small things of body language and commanding leadership and taking control and not allowed to have a bad day.
Put any added pressure on you guys to, get that decision right and, be ready, have the team really ready to come out on day one.
Oh, I mean, there's plenty of pressure. But there's going to also be pressure week 2 against Utah Tech, and there won't be any more, there's not more pressure on the outside than we put on ourselves. And because I feel a deep responsibility to get this team ready to go play at a high level, and our coaching staff does as well. So, it'll be at some point we understand big picture, but then it gets narrowed down to about us and how we prepare and our habits and our focus and then the improvement from week 1 to 2 and 2 to 3 and on down the stretch of the schedule. We know what is out there, big picture. We've addressed that. We've talked about it openly as a team. And then now the focus is let's get as good as we can get in all positions, schematically, playmaking ability, galvanized as a team together. And if we do that, and we prepare the right way, then the results will take care of themselves. We certainly understand that we got to be really good early. And, the ultimate goal is we want to compete and win a championship. And that will never, ever be removed from what our vision is.
Target number of snaps you want these quarterbacks to get, or reps, or how are you monitoring that?
I think, we look at, we're normal downs, first and second downs, third downs, we've breaking it, down every which way. So we'll go 3rd and 1 and 2, 3rd and 3 on its own separate category, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plus, and then extra long. Then we get coming out reps on how many we want to hit. We get a 4-minute drill on trying to end the game, 2-minute situation, end of game situations, tight red zone, and then we combine all those. Okay, that's just 11 on 11. Then you look at 7 on 7 reps, and you look at 9 on 9, which is a version of 7 on 7 with a pass rush. So all those things, we've got a target number that I would like to hit for every position, and we're a little bit ahead of where we were last year at this point as far as rep count. And structure-wise of practice, we learn from our experiences, and I had a chance when I went to Arkansas as a coordinator. I saw a different way of practicing, and rep count total, and that was a branch of what Georgia did, which is a branch of what Alabama did, kind of under the Saban tree. So, and my belief is you learn what each team can handle. I believe very, very firmly and strongly in this structure of how we practice. And I think when we get into position that we lead up into the first week of game week, will be where we need to be, plus some on the reps and the live reps that we've had. We added another rack of plays in our team run segment. This the emphasis that I wanted to put a little bit more in that. We added another third down period to emphasize that. I thought both sides, offensively and defensively, we had some ups and downs the other day on third downs. So I wanted to put another time in the practice that was just strictly emphasis on third downs. And I changed up the 2-minute drill. We had a shorter one the other day. It was a little bit longer today in time. So slight adjustments, but it'll keep us on track.
How did his team respond to those changes?
They were great. Yeah, we go over the practice plan. Not that they're going to remember it once we get onto the field to by period, each one we go. But I do want them to understand what we're trying to get out of the period. It's not just blow the horn, go to the next spot. I want to teach them, okay, we're doing this drill, and here are the reasons why we're doing it. And then you become a smarter football team. It doesn't matter if it's third down and 7 and nobody on the field knows what the distance is. It's of no value. It's just another rep. So we've spent some time on that, and we'll continue to do that, and I think it'll help us.
And who has stood out?
I think up front, our offensive line, we're rotating really 6 guys, kind of with the first group right now. 7 guys, 7. And they've got a chance to be a special group. They're working really, really well together. We're bigger at all 5 spots up front. They're playing well together. And then in the backfield, Jets had a great camp so far. Greg Burrell, Colin James, those 3 have been impressive.
Anton Mule, last year, is he holding down that left tackle spot, or what have you seen from him?
Yeah, he's done great. And, he had a shoulder surgery in the off season, he's recovered well. One thing with Anton, he had a decision to make last year. He could have had the surgery early in the year and not played. And he decided to go ahead and play the entire year and really, and there was no more harm could have been done, but he could have very easily said, no, I'm not going to go do this. I'm going to, get the surgery and be done for the year. So I've got a tremendous amount of respect for his toughness, his ability to be a great teammate, and then on the field play, he's gotten a lot better. We're rotating he and St. John at a couple of different spots. I think it's important to get those guys in different spots to be able to communicate together, and then how effectively can we get the 5 guys wherever they line up playing at a high level.
Marion had mentioned the offensive line experience being a big deal in terms of how the offense flows this year, that a more experienced line is a good thing. Yeah. Can you explain why that helps the quarterbacks?
Well, I think there's a little bit of calmness in the quarterback room because of experience, and they hear the communication piece that the offensive line has working together on the different looks that we're getting defensively. And they can combo block or slide the protection and get the back in the right spot. They've been able to ease the quarterbacks into being able to focus on what they need to as well. And it's good to hear the communication. And I don't know that, with the experience we got coming back, they're as loud of a group as I've heard in their communication piece. And that means they're confident in what they know. So that's been good to see.
The cornerbacks and safeties to a certain extent. Do you like the mix that you have right now?
Yeah,
and where are they?
We've got a talented group, and we needed to get a little bit longer with a couple of guys, and we were able to address that. Catalan is a veteran. So his ability to diagnose plays, communicate it, kind of like the offensive line, that's provided some more confidence on that side of the ball. Jed Elad has had a good of camp as anyone. And then in the corners, there's good competition. They're playing more aggressive, but they're also playing smarter and understanding. The coverage is a little bit better. We've improved our man-to-man technique as well, and they're moving in the right direction.
Yeah, was it the physicality or the smarts last year that gave up? That was kind of the failing part of giving up deep shots.
Yeah, I think coaching, I think technique, I think on-snap footwork, I think eye discipline, understanding or lack of. I think it's not one thing, all of it, and it starts with me on, I didn't do a good enough getting those guys in position to go make those plays. So, you learn and you continue to work and fix problems and issues, and I think we're in a lot better spot than we were last year at this time.
How big is Jeff Fish, especially with Catalan, who's had some injury issues?
Huge. Yeah, he's the things he does: body weights, electrolyte levels, recovery, rehab. We lift with 2 groups tonight. We lift throughout all of fall camp, but also throughout the season. And it's not, we'll be stronger at the end of the year than we are right now because of the work we do in the weight room. And it's, the stretching, the flexibility, the ability to bend, all those things in functioning football players, not, we got a guy that can bench press, 500 pound, but he can't move on the field. That's of no value. So we're strong, but we're also explosive. So you look at how we're moving on the field in our quickness or linear speed or change of direction. And then, if we do have a guy that gets banged up and has a soft tissue injury, I think we're able to get them back quicker than a lot of places I've seen before.